The warning came at 3 in the morning. Commander Jake Morrison was asleep in his quarters at NORAD when the alarm started screaming. He jumped out of bed, pulled on his uniform, and ran to the command center. When he got there, every screen showed the same thing. Big objects, really big objects, floating in space above Earth. The objects were ships, alien ships, 20 of them, each one the size of a small city. They had appeared out of nowhere like magic. But Morrison knew it was not magic. It was technology that humans did not have yet. Morrison stared at the screens. His heart was beating fast. He had trained for many situations: wars, terrorist attacks, natural disasters. But not this. Nobody had trained for this. A young officer ran up to him. Her name was Amanda Chen. She worked with NASA studying space and physics. She looked scared but was trying to hide it. "Commander, we are getting signals from the ships," Amanda said. "They are trying to talk to us." Morrison nodded. "Put it on speakers. Let everyone hear." The voice that came through was strange. It sounded like it was being translated by a computer. The words were clear, but the tone was cold. "People of Earth, this is Fleet Commander Zarthek of the Carathian Empire. Your planet now belongs to us. You will surrender immediately. If you resist, we will destroy your cities. You have 1 of your hours to decide." The message ended. The command center was silent. Everyone was looking at Morrison, waiting for him to say something. Morrison took a deep breath. "Get me the president. Get me every military leader we have, and find out everything we can about those ships." In space, on the biggest alien ship, Fleet Commander Zarthek sat in his command chair. He looked at the planet below. It was mostly blue and green, pretty, primitive, easy. Zarthek had done this many times before. 47 times to be exact. 47 planets conquered. 47 species that had surrendered or been destroyed. This would be number 48. "Commander, the humans have not responded," said one of his officers. Zarthek smiled. "They will. They always do. Fear makes them smart." Behind him, Science Officer Krenax was studying data on his screen. He looked worried. Krenax had been checking the planet's information since they arrived. Something was bothering him. "Commander," Krenax said carefully, "I need to report something about this planet." Zarthek waved his hand. "Later. Right now we focus on the invasion." "But Commander, the planet's gravity is—" "Later, Krenax. We have conquered planets with all kinds of gravity. It does not matter." Krenax closed his mouth. He wanted to argue, but he knew better. Zarthek did not like being questioned. Krenax looked at his data again. The numbers were clear. Earth's gravity was much stronger than their home planet. Much stronger than any planet they had ever invaded. Back on Earth, Dr. Lisa Rodriguez was working late at the CDC in Atlanta. She studied diseases and how bodies worked. When the alien ships appeared, someone had called her. The government wanted scientists ready for anything. Lisa was looking at whatever information satellites had gathered about the alien ships. It was not much. But there was one interesting thing. The ships seemed to have artificial gravity inside them. The data suggested it was about 60% of Earth's gravity. Lisa started doing math. If the aliens kept their ships at 60% gravity, that probably meant they came from a planet with similar gravity. She grabbed her phone and called NORAD. She needed to talk to someone in command. 1 hour passed, then another. The aliens were patient. Finally, the President of the United States went on television. Leaders from other countries did the same. The message was simple. No. Earth would not surrender. Humanity would fight. On the alien ship, Zarthek received the response. He was not surprised. Most species said no at first. Then they saw what the Carathian Empire could do and they changed their minds. "Prepare the ground forces," Zarthek ordered. "We go to the surface. Show them our power. Make them afraid." Ground Commander Velkar stood up. He was a warrior, strong and experienced. He had led ground attacks on 12 planets. He was ready. "My troops are ready, Commander. We will land in their major cities. They will surrender before sunset." Zarthek nodded. "Good, take Denver, Colorado. It is in the center of their largest nation. When it falls, the others will follow." The dropships launched, dozens of them falling from the sky like metal rain. Inside each ship were 50 Carathian soldiers, armed and ready for battle. Captain Kyle Bennett watched them come. He was a Marine Corps officer, positioned outside Denver with his unit. They had tanks, missiles, and guns. But looking at those alien ships, Kyle wondered if it would be enough. "Hold your fire," Kyle told his men. "Wait until they land. Let's see what we are dealing with." The first dropship landed in an empty field about half a mile away. Kyle watched through his binoculars. The ship's door opened. Smoke came out. Then the aliens appeared. They were tall, maybe 7 feet, with gray skin and long arms. They wore armor that looked advanced with glowing parts. They carried weapons that hummed with energy. Ground Commander Velkar stepped out first. He took a deep breath of Earth's air. Then he tried to take a step forward. Something was wrong. His legs felt heavy. Really heavy. Like he was carrying twice his body weight. Velkar tried to take another step. His knee bent wrong. Pain shot through his leg. Behind him, other soldiers were having the same problem. One soldier stepped out and his leg broke. The sound was loud and terrible. He fell to the ground screaming. Another soldier tried to catch him and collapsed under the weight. Velkar stood very still. He was using all his strength just to stay standing. His armor felt like it weighed a ton. His weapon felt impossibly heavy. Every breath was hard work. Through his binoculars, Kyle Bennett watched in confusion. The aliens were not attacking. They were not even moving. They were just standing there. Some were falling down. One was clearly injured. "What the hell is happening?" one of Kyle's soldiers asked. Kyle did not know, but he was not going to waste the opportunity. Everyone stay alert. Something is wrong with them, but stay ready. On the alien command ship, Medical Officer Lynn Ari was getting emergency signals. Soldiers on the ground were reporting injuries, broken bones, difficulty breathing, extreme fatigue. Lynn Ari ran to the command center. "Commander Zarthek!" "Something is wrong with our troops on the surface. They are getting hurt. Many cannot stand." Zarthek stood up. "What? The humans have a weapon?" "No weapons detected, Commander. It is something else." "I do not understand the reports." Krenex turned from his station. His face showed fear now. "Commander, I tried to warn you. The planet's gravity. It is 0.98 standard. Almost 1 full standard unit." Zarthek stared at him. "Explain, quickly." "Our bodies evolved on a planet with 0.6 standard gravity. So did most species in the known galaxy. This planet has almost double that. Our soldiers cannot handle it. Their bones are breaking under their own weight. Their hearts cannot pump blood properly. The gravity is crushing them." The command center went silent. Everyone was looking at the screens showing their soldiers on Earth's surface. Soldiers who could barely move. Soldiers who were dying not from weapons, but from simply standing on the ground. Zarthek felt cold fear for the first time in his military career. "Get them back to the ships now. Everyone returns immediately." But it was not that simple. Many soldiers could not walk back to the dropships. Some tried and collapsed. Others were too weak to move at all. The lucky ones crawled. The unlucky ones stayed on the ground, unable to get up, waiting for help that might not come. Kyle Bennett watched all of this through his binoculars. He watched alien soldiers struggling to move. He watched them helping each other, trying to get back to their ship. He watched some of them give up and just lie on the ground. "Sir," one of his soldiers said, "should we fire on them?" Kyle thought about it. The aliens had come to invade Earth. They had threatened to destroy cities. But looking at them now, struggling just to stand, it felt wrong to shoot them. "Hold fire," Kyle said. "Let's see what happens. Report everything to command." Similar scenes were happening all over the world. In Tokyo, London, New York, and Moscow, alien forces were landing and immediately failing. The mighty Carathian Empire, conquerors of 47 worlds, was being defeated by something they never expected. They were being defeated by Earth's gravity. At NORAD, Morrison was getting reports from every landing site. At first, he did not believe them. Then Amanda Chen explained what Dr. Rodriguez had figured out. The aliens came from low-gravity worlds. Earth's gravity was killing them. Morrison sat down. He had prepared for a war. He had prepared to see human casualties. He had prepared for cities to be destroyed, but this was something nobody had prepared for. "So what do we do?" Morrison asked Amanda. Amanda looked at her data. "We wait, Commander. The planet is fighting for us. We just need to wait and see what they do next." In space, Zarthek watched his invasion fall apart. Most of his soldiers had made it back to the dropships, but many had not. Those left on the surface were now prisoners or dying. His perfect record of conquest was broken. For the first time in his career, Zarthek did not know what to do. He could not invade a planet he could not stand on. He could not conquer a world that crushed his soldiers simply by existing. The invasion had commenced with confidence and power. But Earth's gravity had done the rest, and the war had only Dr. Lisa Rodriguez arrived at NORAD 12 hours after the failed invasion. She carried 3 laptops and a bag full of medical files. She had not slept. She had been too busy doing research. Commander Morrison met her at the entrance. He looked tired too. Nobody had slept much. Dr. Rodriguez, thank you for coming. We need to understand what is happening to these aliens. Lisa nodded. I have been studying the data. I need to see one of the aliens that stayed on the ground. The prisoners. We have several in custody. We are keeping them in a special facility. But doctor, some of them are dying. We do not know how to help them. Lisa understood. Take me to them, now. The facility was underground, built quickly in the past day. Inside, 15 alien soldiers lay on special beds. They could not stand. Some could barely breathe. Medical staff stood around, unsure what to do. Lisa walked slowly through the room, looking at each alien. Their bodies were wrong for Earth, too tall, too thin. Their bones were light, meant for low gravity. Their hearts were not strong enough to pump blood in Earth's heavy pull. One alien was awake, watching her with large, dark eyes. Lisa approached carefully. She spoke slowly, hoping the translation device would work. I am a doctor. I want to help you. The alien made a sound. The translator spoke in a flat voice. You cannot help. Your world is killing us. It is too heavy, too strong. We are dying from simply being here. Lisa felt sad. These soldiers had come to invade Earth, yes, but they were living beings in pain. Tell me about your home world. What is the gravity there? 0.6 of your standard. Light, easy, we can jump high, move fast. Here we can barely lift our arms. Lisa did math in her head. Earth's gravity was almost twice what these aliens were used to. For them, being on Earth was like a human trying to live on a planet with double gravity. Every movement would be exhausting. Every breath would be hard work. We need to reduce the gravity effect on your body, Lisa said. Water. We can put you in water. It will help support your weight. The alien's eyes showed hope. Yes, that might work. Thank you, human doctor. Lisa spent the next 6 hours setting up water tanks for the alien prisoners. It was not perfect, but it helped. The aliens could breathe easier. Their bodies hurt less. Some of the dying ones started to recover. Meanwhile, Captain Kyle Bennett was dealing with another situation. More aliens had landed outside Denver, but they were not soldiers. They were trying to rescue the ones left behind from the first landing. Kyle watched through his binoculars as alien ships came down slowly. The doors opened and machines came out first. Robots. The robots moved to the fallen soldiers and loaded them onto stretchers. The robots had no problem with Earth's gravity, but then aliens in big suits came out. The suits were mechanical, like armor with motors. They helped the aliens move, giving them strength to fight the gravity. These suited aliens worked with the robots to rescue their people. Kyle called Morrison. Sir, they are using powered suits now. Big mechanical things. The suits seem to help them move. Morrison thought about this. Are they attacking? No, sir. They are just picking up their wounded and leaving. They are not even looking at us. Let them go. Do not fire unless they attack first. Kyle lowered his weapon. He watched the aliens carefully collect their fallen soldiers. Some of the aliens in the suits moved very slowly, like the suits were still not enough. One alien fell and the suit could not get back up. Other aliens had to help. On the command ship, Fleet Commander Zarthek was facing a crisis. His invasion had failed. His soldiers were hurt or dead, and he had no idea how to fix it. Medical Officer Linari gave him a report. Commander, we lost 83 soldiers in the first landing. Another 120 are seriously injured. Their bodies cannot handle the planet's gravity. Even with medical help, some will not survive. Zarthek hit his desk. This is impossible. We have conquered worlds with toxic air, worlds with deadly animals, worlds with violent weather. But never this. Never a planet that crushes us just by existing. Science Officer Krenak spoke quietly. Commander, in all our records, we have never invaded a high-gravity world. Most species in the galaxy evolved on planets like ours. Light gravity. The humans are different. They evolved in this crushing weight. It made them strong in ways we are not. So what do we do? Zarthek asked. The High Command expects us to conquer this world. How do we do that when we cannot even stand on it? Nobody had an answer. Amanda Chen was working on calculations at NORAD. She was trying to understand exactly how much of an advantage Earth's gravity gave humans. Commander Morrison, "Look at these numbers," she said, showing him her screen. "The aliens come from 0.6 gravity. That means on Earth, they are experiencing about 60% more weight than normal. Everything is harder for them. Walking, lifting, even breathing." Morrison studied the numbers. "And humans? How would we do on their world?" Amanda smiled. "We would feel light, strong, fast. We could jump twice as high, lift twice as much. We would feel like superheroes." Morrison understood. "So the planet itself is our weapon, our defense. They cannot invade because they cannot survive here." "Exactly. And if we go to them, we have the advantage. In space, in low gravity, humans would be much stronger than them." This changed everything. Morrison called an emergency meeting with General Marcus Wright and other military leaders. They needed to make decisions. General Wright was an old soldier with gray hair and tired eyes. He had fought in many wars, but this was different from anything he had seen. "So let me understand this," Wright said. "The aliens cannot invade us because of gravity, but they still have ships in orbit. They could bomb us from space. What is stopping them?" Morrison answered. "Pride, maybe, or rules. They came to conquer, not destroy. Most empires want planets intact. Bombing everything does not give them a planet to rule. So we have a stalemate. They cannot come down. We cannot go up." "What happens next?" Amanda spoke up. "We learn from them. We have alien prisoners. They can teach us about their technology. We have captured equipment. We can study it, and eventually we can go up to meet them." Wright nodded slowly. "You are talking about taking the fight to them. Going into space." "Yes, sir. But not right away. First we learn. We prepare. We make sure we are ready." Back at the medical facility, Lisa was talking to the alien prisoner again. The alien was in a water tank now, floating. He looked much better. "What is your name?" Lisa asked. "You cannot pronounce it, but you can call me Kor. It is close enough." "Kor, can I ask you about your people? Your empire?" Kor was quiet for a moment. Then he spoke. "We have conquered many worlds. 47 before this one. We thought we were the strongest in the galaxy. We have better ships, better weapons, better technology than most species. But not better bodies," Lisa said. "No, not for this world. Your people, humans, you are built for a hard place. Your bones are thick. Your muscles are strong. Your hearts can pump blood against strong gravity. You evolved in a place that would kill most species. That makes you dangerous in ways we never considered." Lisa thought about this. Humans always complained about Earth. Too hot, too cold, too many natural disasters. But maybe Earth's harshness had made humans tough, strong, ready for things other species were not ready for. "What will your fleet do now?" Lisa asked. Kor shook his head. "I do not know. Commander Zarthek has never failed before. This will hurt his pride, and the Carathian Empire does not like failure. Will they try again? Maybe. They will try to find a way. Better suits, robots, bombardment from orbit. But I think they will realize something important." "What is that?" "That humanity is not weak. That this planet made you into something terrifying. That maybe, just maybe, you should not be conquered. You should be left alone. Or better yet, befriended." Lisa smiled. "I like that idea better. Friendship instead of war." "So do I, Doctor. So do I." That night, people all over Earth looked up at the sky. The alien ships were still there, visible as bright spots among the stars. Nobody knew what would happen next. Would the aliens leave? Would they attack from space? Would there be more fighting? But one thing was clear. The invasion had failed. Not because humans fought harder, not because human weapons were better, but because Earth itself had defended its people. The gravity that humans lived with every day, the weight they never thought about, had become a shield, a protection, a weapon. Captain Kyle Bennett stood outside his base looking at the stars. His soldiers were nearby, resting but ready. They had prepared for war. They had expected to fight and maybe die. But the war had been won by something none of them controlled. "Sir?" one of his soldiers asked. "What happens now?" Kyle did not know. But he knew one thing. We stay ready. We keep watching. And we remember that sometimes the best defense is just being who we are. In space, Zarthek sat in his command chair thinking. He had sent a message to the Carathian High Command. He had explained the situation. He had admitted failure, Now he waited for their response. Kreenex approached him. "Commander, I have been studying human history. Their records are available online. Did you know that their species evolved from hunters? They chased prey until the prey collapsed from exhaustion. They can run for hours without stopping. They can survive injuries that would kill most species." Zarthek looked at him. "What are you saying?" 3 weeks passed. The Carathian fleet remained in orbit, doing nothing. No attacks, no communication, just waiting. People on Earth started to relax a little, but the military stayed alert. Commander Morrison was in a meeting with General Wright and other leaders. They were discussing what to do next. "We cannot just wait forever," General Wright said. "Those ships could attack at any moment. We need a plan," Amanda Chen spoke up. "We have been studying the captured alien equipment. The dropships we recovered. I think we can fly them. We have pilots training right now." Morrison leaned forward. "You want to go up to their ships?" "Yes, but not to attack. To talk, we need to communicate. Find out what they plan to do." Wright shook his head. "That is too dangerous. They could capture our people." Or, Amanda said, "they might be ready to negotiate. They failed to invade. They lost soldiers. Maybe they want peace now." Morrison thought about this. It was risky. But doing nothing was also risky. "Let's ask the prisoners. Let's find out what the Carathians are thinking." Dr. Lisa Rodriguez was already talking to Kor, the alien prisoner. They had become something like friends over the past weeks. Kor was recovering well in his water tank. He could even stand for short periods now. "Kor, what do you think your commander is doing up there?" Lisa asked. Kor floated in his tank, thinking, "Zarthek is a proud warrior. This failure hurts him deeply. But he is also smart. By now he has reported to the High Command. They will decide what happens next. What are the options? 3 options. First, they could order him to destroy Earth from orbit. Bombs, missiles, whatever it takes. But that is wasteful. Second, they could tell him to retreat and leave Earth alone. Third, they could try to make peace. Which do you think they will choose?" Kor was quiet. "I do not know, but I hope for peace. I have seen enough death, and I have learned something here." "What is that?" "That humans are not what we expected. You are strong, yes, but also kind. You did not kill us when we were helpless. You gave us medical care. You treated us with respect. That is rare in the galaxy," Lisa smiled. "We try to be decent, even to our enemies." On the Carathian command ship, Fleet Commander Zarthek received a message from the High Command. He read it slowly, his face showing no emotion. Then he called his officers together. "The High Command has given me new orders," Zarthek said. "We are to attempt negotiations with the humans. If negotiations fail, we are to withdraw and mark Earth as a restricted high-gravity world." Science Officer Kreenax looked relieved. "That is wise, Commander." "Is it?" Zarthek asked. "We look weak. We tried to conquer a planet and failed. Other species will hear about this. They will laugh at us. Or," Kreenax said carefully, "they will see that we are wise enough to recognize a superior force. Commander, the humans defeated us without firing a shot. Their planet itself is a weapon we cannot fight. That is not weakness on our part. That is respect for reality." Medical Officer Linari added, "And if we make peace, we might learn from them. Their medical knowledge, their technology for high-gravity environments. These things could be valuable." Zarthek nodded slowly. "Very well. Send a message to the humans. Request a meeting. Let us see if they are willing to talk." The message reached Earth within minutes. Morrison read it carefully. The aliens wanted to talk. They were offering to meet on neutral ground. A space station between Earth and the alien fleet. "It could be a trap," General Wright said. "It could be," Morrison agreed. "But we have to try. Captain Bennett, I want you to lead the team. Take Amanda Chen and Dr. Rodriguez with you. And take soldiers. Be ready for anything." Kyle Bennett nodded. He was nervous but ready. He had never been to space before. None of them had, except for a few astronauts. They trained for 2 days on how to fly the captured alien dropship. It was different from human aircraft, but not impossible to learn. The controls were actually simpler than expected. On the day of the meeting, Kyle stood in the dropship with his team. 10 soldiers, Amanda and Lisa. They were all wearing special suits just in case something went wrong. "Everyone ready?" Kyle asked. They all nodded. The dropship lifted off from Earth, rising up through the atmosphere. Kyle watched through the window as the planet got smaller below them. It looked beautiful. Blue and white and green. Home. The meeting place was a small Carathian station, empty except for life support. The aliens were already there when Kyle's team arrived. He could see their ship docked on the other side. Kyle docked the dropship carefully. Then he opened the door. The station had gravity, but it was weak, much weaker than Earth. Kyle took a step and almost floated. It felt strange. Careful, Amanda warned. We are much stronger here. Move slowly or you will hurt yourself. The team moved into the station's main room. The aliens were waiting there. Fleet Commander Zarthek stood in the center. He looked healthier here, in low gravity, stronger. Beside him were Krenax and Linery. For a moment, both groups just stared at each other. Then Kyle stepped forward and offered his hand. I am Captain Kyle Bennett of the United States Marine Corps. Zarthek looked at the hand, confused. Krenax whispered something to him. Then Zarthek reached out and took Kyle's hand. The handshake was awkward but friendly. I am Fleet Commander Zarthek. Thank you for coming. They sat down at a table. It was strange seeing former enemies sitting together peacefully. But it also felt right. Zarthek spoke first. I will be direct. My invasion failed. Your planet is too strong for my soldiers. We cannot conquer Earth. The Carathian High Command has ordered me to negotiate peace. Kyle nodded. We appreciate your honesty. What kind of peace are you offering? We will leave your planet alone. We will mark it as restricted territory. No Carathian ships will enter your space without permission. In exchange, we ask for the return of our prisoners and the bodies of our dead. Lisa spoke up. The prisoners are being treated well. They are recovering. We can return them whenever you wish. Zarthek looked at her. You are the doctor who helped them. Kor told us about you. He said you were kind. I did what any doctor would do. I helped people who were hurt. Not any doctor, Zarthek said quietly. Many would have left them to die. They were your enemies. They were living beings in pain. That is all that mattered. Krenax leaned forward. Captain Bennett, may I ask a question? Of course. How do humans survive on your world? The gravity is so strong. Does it not hurt you? Amanda answered. We evolved there. Our bodies are built for it. We do not even notice it most of the time. It is just normal for us. Amazing, Krenax said. And here in low gravity you must feel very strong. Kyle smiled. Actually, yes. I feel like I could jump over a building. It is strange but nice. Zarthek stood up. I must tell you something. Something important. The Carathian Empire has conquered many worlds. But we have never met a species like yours. You are physically superior in ways that terrify us. If you wanted to, you could invade our worlds. You would be unstoppable in low-gravity environments. Kyle stood too. We do not want to invade anyone. We just want to be left alone, to live in peace, and that is what Kor said. He said humans value peace. I did not believe him at first. But now I see he was right. They talked for hours. About peace. About trade. About how to communicate in the future. It was decided that Earth would be independent. The Carathians would share information about other alien species. Humans would share medical knowledge about high-gravity survival. At the end of the meeting, Zarthek did something unexpected. He bowed to the humans. It was a sign of respect in Carathian culture. You defeated us without violence. That is the mark of a truly advanced species. I hope we can be friends, not enemies. Kyle bowed back. We would like that. Friends is better than enemies. On the flight back to Earth, the team was quiet. They were thinking about what had happened. They had gone to space. They had met aliens. They had made peace. Lisa looked out the window at Earth. You know, I never thought about it before. How special our planet is. How it made us strong without us realizing it. Amanda nodded. Earth is a harsh world compared to most. Strong gravity, extreme weather, dangerous animals. But that harshness made us survivors. Warriors. Without even trying. Kyle added. The aliens were right to be afraid. But they were also smart enough to choose peace. That takes courage, too. One of the soldiers asked, Sir, what happens now? Do we just go back to normal life? Kyle thought about it. No, nothing is normal anymore. We know aliens exist now. We know there is a whole galaxy out there. We need to be ready. Ready to defend ourselves. Ready to explore. Ready for whatever comes next. When they landed back on Earth, people were waiting. News crews, military officials, government leaders. Everyone wanted to know what had happened. Kyle gave a simple report. The Carathians are leaving. They have agreed to peace. Earth is safe, people cheered. They were happy, relieved, but Kyle knew the truth. Earth was safe for now. But the galaxy was bigger than anyone had imagined. There would be more challenges, more dangers, more opportunities. Commander Morrison met Kyle privately. Good work, Captain. You did well up there. Thank you, sir. But I have a question. What is it? The Carathians said we could invade their worlds easily, that we are stronger in low gravity. Is that true? Morrison nodded. Amanda confirmed it. In low gravity or zero gravity, humans would have huge advantages. We are built for heavy weight. Take 2 months after the Carathians left, everything changed again. A new message arrived. But this time it was not from the Carathians. It was from someone else, someone worse. Commander Morrison read the message 3 times before he believed it. Then he called an emergency meeting. General Wright, Captain Bennett, Amanda Chen, and Dr. Rodriguez all gathered in the command center. The message is from the Carathian High Command, Morrison said. They are warning us about another species. The Vakir, they are raiders and pirates. They heard about what happened here. They heard that humans are strong in low gravity. Now they want to hire us. Hire us? Kyle asked. For what? To fight. The Vakir are attacking Carathian colonies. The Carathians cannot defend themselves well in space combat. They want human soldiers to help them. General Wright frowned. So they want us to be mercenaries? Hired guns? Yes, but there is more. The Vakir are also planning to attack Earth. They want to test themselves against the species that defeated the Carathians. It is a matter of pride for them. The room went quiet. Another invasion. Another threat. Humans had barely finished dealing with the Carathians. Amanda spoke up. If the Vakir are raiders, they are probably used to fighting in space. In ships. That is where we would have the advantage. Explain, Morrison said. Most alien ships have low artificial gravity, 0.6 or less. If we board their ships, we would be much stronger than them. Faster, more durable. We could fight them in close combat and win easily. Kyle nodded slowly. That makes sense. When we went to the Carathian station, I felt like a superhero. I could jump 10 feet in the air. I could lift things that would be impossible on Earth. General Wright thought about this. So you are saying we should go on the offensive. Attack them before they attack us. Not attack, Morrison said. Defend. But defend in their territory, not ours. If the Vakir come to Earth, we have the advantage. But if we go to them, we still have the advantage. We win either way because of gravity. Lisa had been quiet, but now she spoke. We should help the Carathians. Not for money, but because it is right. The Vakir are hurting innocent people, and if we help stop them, we make an ally instead of an enemy. General Wright nodded. Agreed. Captain Bennett, start training a team. Volunteers only. Make sure they know what they are getting into. We are going to war, but not on Earth. We are going to space. Kyle stood up. Yes, sir. I will need good soldiers, Marines, Special Forces, people who can think fast and fight hard. You will have them. Word spread quickly. Volunteers came forward. Soldiers who wanted to protect Earth. People who wanted to see space. Warriors who wanted to test themselves against a real threat. Kyle picked 50 of the best. Marines, Army Rangers, Navy SEALs. All tough, all experienced, all ready for something new. They trained for 3 weeks. Learning how to move in low gravity. Learning how to fight without weight holding them back. Learning how to use captured alien weapons. The Carathians sent a ship to Earth. A big transport vessel modified to have higher gravity areas for the humans. Fleet Commander Zarthek was on board. He greeted Kyle personally. Captain Bennett, thank you for coming. We need your help desperately. Tell me about the Vakir, Kyle said. They are raiders. They attack ships and colonies, stealing resources and slaves. They are good fighters in space. Better than us. Our ships are strong, but in close combat we cannot match them. What is their gravity? 0.5 standard. Even lower than ours. They are light and fast, but fragile, Kyle smiled. Then we will break them. The journey to the battle zone took 3 days. The human soldiers stayed in the high-gravity section of the ship, keeping their strength. They practiced fighting, studied the enemy, and prepared their minds. On the 3rd day, they arrived at a Carathian colony under attack. 3 Vakir ships were circling a space station, firing weapons. The station was damaged, barely holding together. We need to board those ships, Zarthek said. Capture or destroy them. Can your soldiers do it? Kyle looked at his team. They were ready. Eager even. Yes, we can do it. The plan was simple. Use small boarding pods to attach to the Vakir ships. Cut through the hull. Get inside. Take control. Kyle led the first team himself. 15 soldiers in armored suits armed with rifles and close combat weapons. The boarding pod launched, flying fast toward the nearest Vakir ship. The impact was hard. The pod attached to the ship's hull with magnetic clamps. Cutting tools started burning through the metal. Alarms were screaming on both sides. "Breach in 5 seconds," someone called out. Kyle checked his weapon. He felt strange. Light. Strong. The ship's gravity was much less than Earth. He felt like he could do anything. The hull broke open. Kyle jumped through first. He landed in a corridor. Vakir soldiers were running toward him. They were tall and thin with 4 arms and red skin. They carried energy weapons. They fired. Kyle dodged. In the low gravity, he moved like lightning. He jumped, twisted in midair, and landed behind cover. His team followed, spreading out, finding positions. The Vakir kept firing. But the humans were too fast. Too strong. One human soldier jumped 15 feet straight up, landed on a Vakir and knocked him down with a single punch. The Vakir did not get up. Another soldier ran forward, moving faster than the Vakir could track. He grabbed a Vakir warrior and threw him against the wall. The impact was hard. The Vakir crumpled. Kyle moved through the ship like a ghost. The Vakir tried to fight back, but they were outmatched. Every punch from a human broke bones. Every tackle sent Vakir flying. The aliens were not weak, but compared to humans in low gravity, they might as well have been made of paper. Within 20 minutes, Kyle's team had taken the entire ship. The Vakir who survived surrendered. They looked at the humans with fear and confusion. "What are you?" one Vakir asked through a translator. "You move like demons. You hit like hammers. We have never seen anything like you." Kyle removed his helmet. "We are humans. From Earth, a high-gravity world, and we are done letting people attack innocent colonies." The other 2 teams had similar success. By the end of the day, all 3 Vakir ships were captured. The colony was saved. Human casualties were minimal. A few bruises, 1 broken arm from a soldier who jumped too high and hit the ceiling. Sartek was amazed. "You did in hours what would have taken us days. Maybe weeks. Your people are incredible warriors." Kyle shook his head. "We are just people who grew up in heavy gravity. That is all." "That is everything," Zarthek said. "You do not understand. In the galaxy, most species come from light worlds. You are the exception. The anomaly, and that makes you the most dangerous species anyone has ever met." News of the battle spread fast. The Vakir leadership heard what happened, how humans had boarded their ships and won easily, how their best warriors had been defeated by creatures from a heavy world. The Vakir sent a message to Earth. It was short. They would leave human space alone. They would not attack Earth or any human allies. They had no desire to fight a species that could destroy them so easily. Back on Earth, General Wright read the message and smiled. "We won without really trying. Just by being ourselves," Amanda nodded. "Earth made us strong. We never knew how strong until we left it. Now the whole galaxy knows." Lisa thought about this. "We need to be careful. Strength can be dangerous. Other species will fear us. We need to show them we use our strength wisely." Morrison agreed. "That is why we helped the Carathians. Not for profit, not for conquest, but to protect innocent people. That is what humanity stands for. That is what we need to keep standing for." Kyle and his team returned to Earth as heroes. People celebrated. They had defended not just Earth, but an alien colony. They had shown that humans could be protectors, not just survivors. But Kyle was not comfortable with being called a hero. He knew the truth. They had won because of an accident of birth. Because Earth happened to have strong gravity, not because humans were better than other species. Just different. Lucky. One night, Kyle stood outside looking at the stars. So many stars, so many worlds, so many species. And somehow humans were the strong ones. The dangerous ones. Amanda found him there. She stood beside him, also looking up. "Are you okay?" she asked. Kyle shrugged. "I am thinking about responsibility. We are strong. Really strong. What do we do with that strength? We use it to help. To protect, like you did out there. But what if others want us to fight their battles? What if we become soldiers for hire? Warriors who go anywhere for any reason?" Amanda thought about this. "Then we say no. We choose our battles. We fight when it is right, not when it is profitable. That is what makes us different from the Vakir." Kyle nodded. "You are right. We need to be careful. Power without wisdom is dangerous. Good thing we have wise people then, Amanda said with a smile. The next day, Earth received official recognition from the Carathian Empire. Humans were declared protectors of the frontier colonies. Any species that attacked Carathian territory would face human defenders, but it came with a condition. Humans would choose when to fight. Nobody could order them. Nobody could hire them against their will. They would be allies, not servants. Other species heard about this. Some were impressed. Some were scared. Some wanted to be friends with humans. Others wanted to stay far away. One species, the Alari, sent a delegation to Earth. They were a peaceful species, traders and explorers. They wanted to learn from humans, not. Part 5. 1 year had passed since the Carathian invasion. Earth looked very different now. Space stations orbited the planet. Human ships traveled to other star systems. Alien diplomats visited regularly. Everything had changed. But the biggest change was in how other species saw humans. They were no longer unknown primitives. They were the Death World species. The high-gravity warriors, the ones you did not fight unless you wanted to lose. Commander Morrison had been promoted. He was now Admiral Morrison, head of Earth's new Space Defense Force. He sat in his office reading reports from across the galaxy. There were good reports, trade agreements with peaceful species, cultural exchanges, scientific cooperation. Humans were learning alien technology, and aliens were learning from human medical knowledge. But there were also troubling reports. Some species wanted to hire human soldiers. They offered huge amounts of money for warriors from the heavy world. Some humans were tempted. The money was incredible. General Wright came to see Morrison. He looked tired. "We have a problem, Admiral." "What now?" "Private military companies. Some people are starting their own mercenary groups. They take money from anyone who pays. They fight in wars that have nothing to do with Earth. It is becoming a problem." Morrison sighed. "We knew this would happen. When you are strong, people want to use that strength. Can we stop them?" "Not easily. They operate outside Earth's laws, in space and other systems. We would need new laws, new enforcement, and it would be controversial." Morrison thought about this. "Schedule a meeting with world leaders. We need to decide what humanity stands for. Are we protectors or are we guns for hire?" The United Nations held a special session. Leaders from every country came. They debated for days. Some wanted to allow mercenary work. It brought money and influence. Others wanted to ban it. It made humans look bad, like violent thugs. Captain Kyle Bennett was invited to speak. He was now Colonel Bennett, leader of the first successful space combat operation. People respected his opinion. Kyle stood before the assembly. He was nervous but determined. "I fought in space," Kyle said. "I saw what human soldiers can do in low gravity. We are unstoppable. No other species can match us in direct combat. That is a fact." He paused, looking around the room. "But being strong does not mean we should fight for anyone who pays us. We have values. We have principles. If we become mercenaries, we lose those things. We become weapons, not people. Is that what we want?" The room was quiet. People were thinking about his words. "I say we should fight only when it is right, when innocent people need protection, when justice requires action. Not for money, not for power, but for what is right. That is what makes us better than those who would hire us." The assembly voted. It was close, but the decision was made. Earth would not allow private military companies to operate. Human soldiers could volunteer to help allied species, but only with government approval. No mercenaries. No guns for hire. Some people were angry about this decision. They wanted the freedom to make money however they could. But most people understood. Humanity needed to be more than just strong. They needed to be good. Meanwhile, Dr. Lisa Rodriguez was working on something important. She had been studying alien biology for months. She had learned so much about different species and how they evolved. She had also been teaching alien doctors about human medicine, how to treat high-gravity injuries, how human bodies worked. The aliens were fascinated and sometimes horrified. "Your bones are so thick," one alien doctor said. "Your muscles are so dense. You are built like armored tanks compared to us." Lisa smiled. "We have to be. Earth is not gentle. You need strong bones to walk around all day in heavy gravity. You need strong muscles to move. You need tough skin to handle our weather. Your planet made you into warriors whether you wanted it or not." "Yes. But it also made us survivors, adapters, problem solvers. Those are good things too." Lisa was also working on something special, a way to help other species visit Earth safely. Special suits with artificial gravity compensation. It was experimental but promising. Kor, the Karathian officer who had become her friend, volunteered to test it. He put on the suit and Lisa adjusted the settings. Then he stepped onto Earth's surface. For the first time in a year, Kor stood on Earth without being in water. The suit hummed softly, creating an upward force that countered some of the gravity. It was not perfect, but it worked. "I can stand," Kor said, amazed. "It still feels heavy, but I can manage." "This is incredible, Doctor." Lisa was happy. Now other species can visit Earth properly. They can see our cities, our nature, our world. Understanding comes from experience. Amanda Chen had also been busy. She was leading a project to build Earth's first real starship. Not a modified alien vessel, but a ship designed by humans for humans. The ship was different from alien designs. It had higher gravity throughout. Aliens could visit, but they would need special equipment. It was a ship built for high-gravity species because that was what humans were. "We are not trying to copy aliens," Amanda explained to reporters. "We are building something that works for us. Our strength is our advantage. Our designs should reflect that." The ship was named Explorer. It would be the first human vessel to travel beyond Allied space, to see what else was out there, to make new friends and face new challenges. Admiral Morrison was chosen to lead the mission. He would take a crew of scientists, diplomats, and soldiers to explore unknown regions of the galaxy. On the day of departure, thousands of people gathered to watch. The ship was huge, gleaming in the sunlight. It represented everything humanity had accomplished in one short year. Morrison stood on the bridge looking at Earth through the window. His home. The heavy world that made humans strong. He would miss it, but he would carry its lessons with him. Colonel Kyle Bennett was coming on the mission. So was Dr. Lisa Rodriguez. Amanda Chen would stay on Earth, managing the space program. They were all part of something bigger now. The ship lifted off, rising through the atmosphere. People cheered. This was humanity's future. Not conquered, not hiding, but exploring, meeting others as equals, or maybe more than equals. As Explorer traveled through space, Morrison thought about everything that had happened. The invasion that failed. The alliances that formed. The new role humanity was taking in the galaxy. They had not asked to be strong. Earth had made them that way. But now that they were strong, they had a choice. Use that strength wisely or become tyrants. Morrison had chosen wisdom. So had most of humanity. They would protect the weak. Stand up to bullies. Defend the innocent. Not because they had to, but because it was right. 3 months into the journey, they encountered a new species. The Zenthi. They were peaceful traders who had heard about humans. They were curious but cautious. "We have heard stories about your kind," the Zenthi captain said through a translator. "They say you are from a death world, that you are unstoppable in combat, that even the Karathians fear you." Morrison smiled. "Some of that is true, but we are not here to fight. We are here to learn, to trade, to make friends. But if we were to threaten you, you could destroy us easily, could you not?" Morrison was honest. "Probably. But why would we? What would we gain? Violence is a last resort, not a first choice." The Zenthi captain relaxed. "Good. We have met too many species who use strength to dominate. It is refreshing to meet one who chooses a different path." They traded information and goods. The Zenthi gave humans maps of nearby star systems. Humans gave the Zenthi medical supplies and technology. Both sides benefited. Both sides left as friends. This became the pattern. Explorer would meet new species. Some were friendly, some were suspicious, but all of them learned the same thing. Humans were strong, yes, but they were also fair. They did not conquer. They did not steal. They helped when asked and left when not needed. Word spread across the galaxy. Earth's reputation grew, not as a threat but as a protector, as a reliable ally, as a species that used strength responsibly. Back on Earth, people watched the explorer's journey. Children dreamed of going to space. Scientists made new discoveries. Artists created works inspired by alien cultures. Earth was changing, growing, becoming part of something larger. General Wright had retired, but he still advised the government. He was proud of what humanity had become. They had faced invasion and won. They had gained power and used it well. They had proven themselves. One evening, Wright stood outside his home looking at the stars. Amanda Chen came to visit him. "General, I wanted to thank you," Amanda said. "For what?" "For making the right choices. For choosing protection over conquest. For showing that strength and kindness can exist together." Wright smiled. "I did not do it alone. Everyone chose that path. Morrison, Bennett, Rodriguez, you. We all decided together what humanity would be. Do you think it will last? This golden age?" Wright was quiet for a moment. "I do not know. There will be challenges, threats, temptations. But I believe in people. I believe humans will continue to choose the right path even when it is hard. I hope you are right. So do I, but hope is not enough. Every generation must make their own choices. Must decide what they stand for. We made our choice. The next generation will make theirs." Far out in space aboard the Explorer, Colonel Kyle Bennett was training new recruits. Young people who wanted to serve. Who wanted to protect others. Who understood